So this is the second card that we're going to make, and this is cream and gold. This card has a very subtle gold sheen on it. It's beautiful. So let's get started and make the second card. So for this card, all I've done is taken just one sheet of card and simply folded it in half, and I'm going to use it with the fold at the top. Then I have cut myself a gold mat, and that's going to sit on the front, but I'm not gluing anything in place yet, and that leaves just a small border around the edge. And then I've cut a cream layer, which also leaves just a small border around the edge. Now, to line the inside of the card, I've cut some more of the gold card, and that's going to sit in the centre of the card, and I've embossed that, and I've embossed the front. So that's the base of the card ready, but don't glue anything just yet. Now, just as you did with card 1, you're going to create the frame for your card, but then we want to create this smaller aperture that will sit inside this frame. So I'm taking the second largest die and placing it on some cream card, and I'm going to cut that aperture out. Now, once you've cut out this aperture, that will give you a smaller layer underneath your cut out frame. So we're not gluing anything yet, but that will be added with foam pads. So I've now cut this so that it's just slightly bigger than the frame. And then the next thing we're going to do is move on to the gold card. So from the gold card we've also cut an aperture, but from the Asian motifs we've taken the largest square die and I've cut 2 pieces, and one of them I have cut in half. So what I'm going to do is add some glue to each of those little corners and just glue it to the larger one. I'm going to do that with both of them, and that's going on the opposite side. So what we're doing is we're creating a patterned background for the aperture in our cards. Now, once you have this centre panel, take your gold card, the one with the aperture in it, and that's going to sit over the top of them. Now, all these will be placed together, but I'm going to use foam pads. So foam pads will be on this piece, this will sit along there, and then with foam pads we will add in the framework that we made. Now, all that needs to be done now is for the gold piece to be cut down so it leaves just a small border around that cream layer. But there you have a fancy pattern for the background of your card. So there's my base card all glued with the layers in there, ready to go. It's been lined, and I'm now going to work with the first layer. This is the one with the pattern in the background, and I've added that with foam pads separating it from the gold card, and there'll be foam pads on the gold card. Now, on top of that I need to add in the second layer, which was the cream one with the smaller aperture. Now, I'm using a clear plastic ruler, and it's got a little dotted mark along there, so I'm using the dotted line to line up against the cream card, and then I'm cutting along the metal edge, and that will give me a nice little border around all the sides. And then once I've done that, I'm ready to add in my cream frame to the top, and that again just needs a small border around the edge, and that's all ready to add to the card. Now, because of the foam pads, you have different layers in all the areas, and of course with foam pads on the back, once you add this now to the card, it will raise it up from the base layer. So from the Decorative Labels 28, we've taken the second die in and cut a frame, and then from the plain Labels 28, I've used 2 more dies to make more labels to go on the card, and one of them has been heat embossed in gold. So I'm adding the first layer into the centre of the card, and then the second layer is going in the centre of that one, and then the last layer with the sentiment is going on the top of the cards, and there it is. So there you have the second card finished. I've just added in some ribbon with a little diamante centre, and it's all ready to send. So there you have 2 more layered cards using the spellbinders that we've already collected, which are Asian accents and motifs, and Labels 28, and I'm sure you'll be very pleased with the cards when you've made them, and thank you for joining me on this tutorial.